The buzzword to encounter the issue of climate change is coordination, cooperation and convergence. In our country also, if we have good coordination and convergence in different schemes, we can tackle in the form of making awareness among the citizens. All the stakeholders can be sensitized on the issue, and particularly small farm holders, they have to be trained in such a way that they can have adaptive capability with them. Climate finance is also one of the issue, but Honorable Chair will talk upon those points. At this point of time, I will stop here. But yes, it was a very successful grant program, and our National Institute CRIDA took a lead under the dynamic support and command of our Dr. S.K. Chaudhary, who stayed here almost 5 days, watching and guiding us in a very beautiful way. Maybe small thing, but very important to give a clear message from our country to all the partners of G20. And it was a very successful program, I can say here. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Rajveer. In fact, please settle down, and Doordarshan Live is going on now. And now I request Dr. S.K. Chaudhary, Vikas Mandal साहब बाद में बात करेंगे ना, वोट ऑफ दैट क्लास में. Now I request Dr. S.K. Chaudhary, DDG ICR, and he is also the chairman of this G20 technical workshop which is going on here in Hyderabad. I request Dr. S.K. Chaudhary.
Thank you very much, Bala. First, let me add my own words of welcoming all of you. It was very important for the ICAR, the Indian Council of Agricultural Research, to have this technical workshop organized. I'm very happy to announce that when the MAX meeting of G20, MAX stands for Meeting of Agricultural Chief Scientists. It happened in Varanasi in India. And in that meeting, India has committed that we are going to organize 2 technical workshops. You are all aware that India has organized more than 56 now, 56 big events of G20 on various of subjects. And each event had 1 or 2 side events. So ICAR agreed to have 2 side events, one on climate resilient agriculture, which is concluded today, and one more just concluded last week. It was on One Health concept, which was held in Bengaluru. This workshop is very important because climate resilient agriculture is a subject being discussed, deliberated on almost all the platforms all across the globe, not only in the country. So climate resilient agriculture is also equally important, and climate resilient agricultural research is the most important. And from that point of view, this event was very, very important, and the opportunity was given to Central Research Institute for Dryland Agriculture, CRIDA, which is located right here in Hyderabad, Santosh Nagar, and the farm right here, all of you are here. So as my colleague has said, the participants from G20 countries were there. Besides, we invited some of our friendly countries to participate in this. So in that list, Mauritius and Oman, they have given a positive response and they are present in this meeting. The meeting was successful, certainly. Why we say that it was successful? Because it has led to develop a common understanding amongst the countries which were present. Common understanding to have a platform wherein we can share our experiences, we can share our knowledge, and we can exchange the shared knowledge with each other. All the countries, they are wonderfully doing in the area of climate change research. But I'm very happy to inform you that India is one of the leading countries across the globe which have invested heavily in climate change research, and also our technology of climate resilient agriculture. Our technologies are very robust, very strong. Amongst all the positive developments, we have large number of varieties of crops which are available for different climatic extremes, whether it is drought, whether it is a rising temperature, whether it is flood, whether it is frost, or very long winters, or you name. Even during the cyclones and extreme weather conditions, we have some contingency measures to adopt. India's climate change research started roughly 2 decades back. And based on our experience in the last 2 decades, now we came up with wonderful technology. And also we have a flagship program which rarely any other countries have. And that flagship program is called National Innovations in Climate Resilient Agriculture. That is being led by this institute, and this institute has paved a path, and it is showing a way forward to the whole world that how climate change research will help in adaptation and co-benefits towards mitigation. When we talk of gases emission, when we talk of enhanced temperatures, when we talk of joint effect of enhanced temperature and enhanced carbon dioxide concentration, then we also should have some technology. Friends, for last 7 years or 10 years, you might have seen that many a times there was rise in temperature, there was shoot up in temperature suddenly. There was untimely rains, there was cyclonic events, there used to be very heavy winds during the maturity periods of the crop lodging happens. But despite of that, if you see the production data, the production figures are increasing. I mean, the food crop production figures, they are increasing, not only in food crops, but horticultural crops as well. And you know, India is now #1 milk producer. So in this climate resilient summit or climate resilient sub-event, we discussed not only crops and agriculture, core agriculture, but we have included the subject of animals, we included the subject of fisheries, aquaculture, poultry. So it was comprehensive discussion on all the aspects which are vulnerable to and sensitive to climate change and weather extremes. 3 sessions were devised in such a manner. Session 1 was just of sharing the scientific knowledge each country has, because every country had its own knowledge base for climate resilient agriculture, and they are conducting research of their own area. For India, large diversity is there, but this much diversity may not exist in other countries, but still they have their own stories and knowledge to share. So this was a very long session. First full day we devoted for that. We understood, we listened their concerns. And not only their concern, not only G20, but we invited very important organizations globally which are working in the area of climate research. So they also shared their experiences, and then jointly everybody was benefited. Then we went to the next session where we just strived hard to understand how best we can upskill the technologies which are available. For example, the people in India, our farmers, rural people, they have their own ways of understanding of this climate. It's not first time we are introducing climate change research in this country. So how to take advantage of their traditional knowledge, how to blend that traditional knowledge with the modern tools and techniques and modern knowledge, and come up with better technology capsules and enter into a transfer chain or technology transfer chain and disseminate the technology at the highest level. So models of bottom-up approach, models of top-down approach, both with upscaling and downscaling, how best we can help nations to upscale their technology. So this we discussed, and a lot of discussion took place and good recommendations emerged. And then third part, most of the countries, they have some policies for climate change research and to adapt the climate change situation without compromising the agricultural productivity, including livestock and fisheries. So what policies will help? What kind of institutional arrangements be made what kind of governance should be there if you have to mainstream the climate research and climate technologies, then what kind of policy decisions required and in which way we should move forward. And if you have to move collectively, what should be the collective wisdom and in which direction we should go. Therefore, all these aspects were discussed in depths and dimensions. But the most important point, which I would like to share with you, that all the countries, they agreed and they want to have a common platform on which we can regularly share our climate experiences. This will not only help India, but also help other countries. For example, one example is just neighboring countries, if some disease emerges. So how and in which direction that disease will spread? What kind of surveillance system we should have? That disease is affecting only to animals or only to birds or animal and birds together or in human being also, so that we can immediately take the precautionary measures. So these kind of things will happen. Similarly, meteorological understanding, the meteorological data, you must be agree with me that if you look back 1 decade back, meteorological forecast, people used to laugh. When there is a forecast of rain, rain will not be there. When there is no forecast of rain, then rain will definitely happen. So we used to laugh and we used to crack the jokes. But now, just see, if you see weather report and the short range forecasts are made very, very accurately. So a lot of modifications have taken place, simulation modeling, and also some scientific developments have taken place in forecasting the rains or even other extreme events of weather and climate. So these are the positive things happening. And some countries where economy is completely dependent on agriculture, but some countries economy may not depend on agriculture, they may not assign the equal importance what India is assigning. But this provides G20 kind of this kind of event, particularly on technical aspect. Exclusively technical aspect was discussed here. We did not discuss any other political or any other condition. Our discussion was limited only to technical happenings and scientific developments in the area of climate resilient agriculture, including livestock and fisheries. So we discussed field crops, we discussed horticultural crops, we discussed livestock, we discussed poultry, we discussed fisheries, we discussed aquaculture as a whole. So whether it's marine fisheries, inland fisheries, brackish water or fresh water or cold water, whatever it is. So a lot of discussions took place, and our recommendations are in the process of, draft recommendations are ready, but again we are sharing with our counterparts in different countries. They will further give their input and we will refine our recommendations. These recommendations we are trying to provide to the main event which is happening in the next week right there in Delhi. So this recommendation will be of great use, and all the countries, all the G20 countries, they will be benefited from this event. But most important aspect for our country is that they came here, we learned, we understood, we exchanged our ideas, we exchanged our scientific knowledge with them, and definitely the knowledge which we have today, that will be very useful to the others, and also they have done some good research that will be useful to us as well. And this will not only pave a path for futuristic kind of research, but also it will help us to refine and redefine our development goals, our development plans, our governmental schemes, and this way, slowly but definitely, we'll be moving forward. So in overall, as a chair, I would say I express a sense of great satisfaction that this technical workshop was a great success. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Chaudhary. Agricultural research plays a pivotal role in agricultural development, where agriculture is the backbone of our nation. And the deliberations and outcomes we had of these 3 days will definitely help not only our nation but other nations as well. Thank you. ఇప్పుడు పాత్రికేయ మిత్రులు ఏమైనా ప్రశ్నలు అడగాలంటే కనుక డిగ్నిటరీస్ని అడగొచ్చు. And please introduce yourself before asking a question. Please pass on the mic. Balu garu from Deccan.
I am Balu Pulipaka from Deccan Chronicle. One of your colleagues had mentioned that there were 8 recommendations. Can you list those 8 recommendations?
They are still in draft form,
Uh-huh.
and we are some negotiations are going on, and some rather correction, not negotiation. Some corrections are required. Once they are corrected, definitely we'll share those.
All right, thank you.
FM सलीम हिंदी मिलाप से हूँ सर। मैं जानना चाहूँगा कि जो दूसरे कंट्रीज के डेलीगेट्स आए थे उसमें से कुछ ऐसे उदाहरण जो हमारे सामने हों, जो सफल उदाहरण जो हम यहाँ भारत में अपनाने के लिए।
जी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। बड़ा महत्वपूर्ण मुद्दा है, क्योंकि हमने उनको बुलाया है, उनकी बात सुनी, हमारा ज्ञान तो उनको दे दिया, पर उनसे हमको क्या मिला। तो इसमें ऐसा था, हमारे पास डेलीगेट्स थे अमेरिका से, हमारे पास डेलीगेट्स थे कनाडा से, हमारे पास और भी डेलीगेट्स थे इंडोनेशिया, जापान, वो भी इस क्षेत्र में काम कर रहे हैं। उनके पास में जो सिमुलेशन मॉडलिंग होती है, इसमें क्लाइमेट चेंज के क्षेत्र में सिमुलेशन मॉडलिंग में वो हमसे उनकी जानकारी बेहतर है, तो उनके उस ज्ञान का हमको इस्तेमाल होगा आगे भी। और ये जो G20 के माध्यम से जो हमने चर्चा कर ली, तो उनको पता चल गया कि हम इस एरिया में हमको मदद की जरूरत है, और हमको पता चल गया कि वो हमको इस एरिया में मदद कर सकते हैं। तो अब हमारे जो बायलैटरल MOUs होंगे और हमारे जो वर्क प्लान फाइनलाइज होंगे इंटरनेशनल रिलेशन के, वो अब हम उस दिशा में लेके जाएंगे। तो ये एक बड़ा हमको फायदा एक हुआ है। दूसरा, कुछ ऐसे सेक्टर्स है जैसे पहाड़ी क्षेत्रों में हम लोग जो क्लाइमेट चेंज का रिसर्च करते हैं वो बड़ा लिमिटेड सा है, लेकिन वहां पे जैसे कनाडा के जो यहाँ पे आए हुए हैं, उन्होंने हमको बताया कि जो वुडी क्रॉप्स, हार्डी क्रॉप्स है, पेरिनियल वुडी क्रॉप्स, उसमें किस तरह से रिसर्च की जाती है। तो वो एक नई चीज हमारे लिए थी, हमारी अंडरस्टैंडिंग उतनी बढ़िया नहीं थी उस फील्ड में, जो हमको नई अंडरस्टैंडिंग इसकी हुई है। तो ये एक दो उदाहरण है, ऐसे कई बातें हैं, क्योंकि चर्चा में बड़ी सारे मुद्दे आए हैं, लेकिन ये महत्वपूर्ण बातें हैं जो हमको आगे मदद करेंगे और हमारा जो क्लाइमेट चेंज का रिसर्च है इसको और सुधारने में मदद करेंगे।
Again, for those who can't see me, this is Balu Pulipaka from Deccan Chronicle once again. You had talked about, you also discussed issues related to animal husbandry, fisheries, aquaculture, poultry. Can you tell us, maybe just one example each or something, how is climate change affecting each of these sectors? Thank you.
Thank you so much. First, I will take the livestock sector, animals particularly. We are human beings. We experience the heat. We experience the cold. But animals, they cannot speak. But we understand, our farmers, they understand whenever temperature is more, when temperature is now shooting to 50 degrees centigrade, 48, 49, that time, animal, its milk production, and also the life of animal, it gets adversely impacted. So what are the new things we can do in climate change? So we did some research on, number one, shelter, providing correct shelter with correct humidity and temperature controls there, which are possible at the rural level. And if you see in villages, particularly in many parts, whether Maharashtra, Telangana, many parts you will go and will find that farmers are now aware. Farmers तो पहले भी गाय के ऊपर या भैंस के ऊपर कुछ एक बोरा की डाल देते थे, उसको गिला करते थे. This much understanding was there. But now, new sensors, very cheap and very low cost sensors are there, which can be used. You can maintain good humidity there, good temperature. This helps them to maintain good health, number one. And it also helps us to get better milk productivity. Point number two, some animals like bhais, buffalo. Buffalo is known for enteric fermentation. You know, वो खाती है, खाने के बाद में बहुत देर तक जुगाली करती है. The food remains in their mouth for a long time, and they take and they inside their rumen, they keep it for some time. Again, they have a unique mechanism to bring it back, and again chewing happens overnight. In this process, a lot of methane is emitted. So this methane gas is emission. It happens at a rapid rate in animals, particularly in buffalo, and some of the ruminant also. So ICAR and in our NICRA project, we came up with some mixtures, some supplement mixture. These are the food supplement or feed supplement which can be added to their feed, and once they, along with grasses, they chew it, keep it, then these gases emission can be reduced significantly. And this reduction helps us to reduce the greenhouse gases emission as well. This is one example from livestock. Similarly, in the area of fisheries.
When you're talking about reduction of emissions, can you hear me?
Yeah, very much, very much.
When you're talking about reduction of emissions by using supplements, can you even weigh or approximate percent of like how much?
Yeah,
Let us say a buffalo emits 100 kg.
yeah. So researches so far, it indicates that there is a possibility to reduce the emissions by 30 to 40%. And this is huge. 30 to 40% is a huge. And our institute, which is located at Bangalore, which is specifically dedicated to animal nutrition only, that institute, it came with some very good feed blocks. Here also in Krida, although animal science is not our subject, but KVK, where you are sitting, our KVK colleagues, they also promote some of the cakes and some of the feed material that helps reduce the gases emission. Yeah. And you are talking about the fisheries sector as well, fisheries and aquaculture. As such, climate change has not only the negative impacts. Climate change in some areas have positive impacts as well, like the yield of, let us say, groundnut, yield of chickpea will not be reduced with enhanced temperature. Rather, there will be 1 to 2% enhancement in yield. Similarly, the fisheries sector, if you talk of marine fisheries, is not going to reduce significantly. Reduction may happen, but otherwise, in some of the fish species, there would be some gain because of temperature, particularly in marine fisheries. But some of the freshwater aquaculture or brackish water aquaculture, the water quality may deteriorate, and that because of deterioration in water quality, we expect some reduction in brackish water aquaculture and brackish water fisheries. But in freshwater, if water is fresh, quality is good, then we don't expect anything. But otherwise, if quality of water is damaged or impacted, definitely it will have negative impact on fish species. Similarly, cold water fishes, particularly in Himalayan region or hilly region in Himachal Pradesh or Uttarakhand, in this region, cold water fisheries very much practiced. There also, because of rise in temperature, if the water temperature rises a little, it impacts little bit adversely on the cold water fisheries.
Thank you, friends. Thank you, Dr. Chaudhary.
Just but I'm very thankful. On the day one, you people were there. Our Minister Sushri Shobha Karandalaji was there, and you raised very good question, and you have given very broad coverage. And I'm very happy that we got very good support from the government of Telangana and also press and media. The day one newspaper cuttings and newspaper coverage was wonderful, and I really expect the same in future also. So much, and thankful to you, and thankful to Bala for organizing this, and thankful to Press Information. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Now I request Dr. Vikash Mandal, EDC ICAR, to present his vote of thanks.
Thank you, Chair, and also, I could see some of your journalist colleagues were also present in the first day news conference, and just before telling a vote of thanks, I would like to also inform you, and that because I am responsible in international relations in the council in the headquarters, so so far Ministry of Agriculture has organized 6 G20 meetings. And this week and previous week we have organized 2 meetings, and this is the last one before the Leaders Summit meeting, which is going to happen in Delhi in this weekend. And many times it is asked that what we get out of G20 meeting. A very common questions. I can just give you a feel of it that I joined the headquarters in February, and April there was a G20 meeting. And because I deal with the international relation, I could see that there is a upsurge of, demand of a relation with India, India's cooperation with various countries. It has increased at a significant level. Every day we are experiencing the Krishi Bhavan, one or the other ambassadors from the different embassies coming to us and asking that we need, cooperation in the area of agriculture, research and education with India. That is one big outcome. And the other, the specific outcome, people have talked about the millet. That is the buzzword of today's. And in the first meeting which we had in Banaras in April, that is called MAX meeting, chief scientists, meeting of chief agriculture scientists meeting. There one, consensus, or it is a general understanding and support from all the G20 countries has come that India proposed initiatives of international research initiatives on millet, and that we refer as Maharishi. And that Maharishi initiative is going to happen in Hyderabad, in the Indian Institute of Millet Research. So that is one very specific outcome of the G20 meeting. And in addition to that, we have, yesterday, several important issues of climate change of common interest has emerged. And based on those issues, the recommendation has been drafted, as mentioned by the chair, that is still in the process of, modification. Once we have communicated to all the countries for their feedback. So once we get that, then we'll be able to circulate. So with this, I would like to thank, I could see that as many numbers of this, the mouthpiece, I could see more than dozens of, news channels and large number of the journalist friends are here. I thank you for you're able to come here and feel that it is an important event, and it requires, this information is required to be disseminated to the common people. And in this process you play so important role. And the scientist's job is to generate, information technology and then take it to the stakeholder. But the information taken from the scientific research institutions or the conference and meeting to the common public, that is through you. So many thanks for coming and attending this conference, and wish you give a wide publicity. Thank you. I would also like to thank the chair of the meeting, Dr. Chaudhary, is the backbone of these initiatives and meeting. And we have Dr. V.K. Singh, Director of CRIDA, is the main force behind very successful execution of the meeting with a large number of scientists and administrative support. I also thank Dr. Rajveer Singh. He joined from headquarters New Delhi, and he is also a climate scientist, very, very connected to the development of research development in the field research. And I thank you, Dr. Singh, for attending. And there are many organizers here. We could have a very wonderful field visit. In the meeting hall, we only talk on the slides and things, but this is the place. I think I'm so proud, I was telling to the chair, that we should have a, climate conference center right here in this research farm, because this is the place when you talk and discuss about the research, you practically able to see what kind of research and technology being developed. And that is the, best way to, disseminate information to the people. So the today's meeting organized, today's farm visit organized by the scientists from CRIDAs and other technical administrative support. Thank you, all of you, for that. And also I would like to also thank, the security provided by the state is so wonderful, and you could see so much of security. It's very easy, smooth moving in the roads. So thank you one and all. Thank you.